Make sure when you do this, you use some sort of a respirator. I'm using Mother Nature's respirator, which means I'll be breathing through my nose. Hey, welcome back to Freedom One Garage. There's no more soothing sound than a pivot going, and that one's close to the road. It's almost done. It goes to about that next telephone pole there, and it'll be done. But the end gun, I'll have to get some footage. We got two pivots behind us that run the end gun when they go by our property, and that's just super relaxing. But yeah, thanks for coming back. Consider liking, subscribing if you like what we're doing here. We are still on the Bronco. We got a bunch of little repair jobs and stuff done, so really this is our only, I think our only customer car right now. So we're just piling into it here. Last episode, I guess, we walked you through our little diversion from engine compartment beautification to fix our rust issue on the inner panel. I'm proud to report that the results are good. Here's what we had right back in that corner. There's what that corner looks like now. So life is pretty dang good. But now we're on to the next step. And before you see the water pump starting to flash rust a little bit here, before we lose what we've already gained in cleaning this engine, we're going to mask off everything around. Oil pressure sensor, oil pump, we're going to mask off now. I don't know where we're at with the updates for you guys, but as of right now, customer kind of changed his mind. We're going to mask off the valve covers, keep those factory, and clean the heck out of them and put them back on and see what they look like. Because of the stickers and the stampings and stuff, it's just cool. And I agree with him 100 billion%. But yeah, so let's get this engine into some blue before we go too overboard dealing with the flash rust issue and some of the other stuff. So we're going to get the masking. I'm not going to bore you guys with time lapse of masking. My light's going to die. It's pointed over there though, so I don't really care. But yeah, I'll get you updated as soon as we get to where we're going to paint, and then let's see what this guy looks like cleaned up and with a fresh coat of paint. Okay, budget masking for the old Craigslist rebuild. A little more, involved than one might think, but I think we're there. We taped off the stuff we don't want to be Ford blue, and again, we do want the valve covers to be Ford blue, but we're going to leave them stock and just clean those and shine them up real good. Everything's ready to go, I think. We're not going to pay too much attention to the exhaust manifolds. We're going to try to get back there and touch the back corner of the block. And on this side, the heat riser runs along the bottom of the exhaust manifold, and we'll kind of give it some overspray, but it's going to burn right back off anyway, and it's a little bit of a rusty piece and it's not going to stick well and everything else. We wipe down the water pump and the fuel pump with grease and wax remover. Now it's time for Old Ford Blue. Make sure when you do this, you use some sort of a respirator. I'm using Mother Nature's respirator, which means I'll be breathing through my nose. going to go right through this can and then call it good. Somebody commented the freeze plug trick that we used for the distributor hole probably would have worked good for the intake too. I agree 100%. Next time we do one of these and we got to do the pressure washer, we will get 2 more for the intake, or 4 if it's a 4-barrel. Sometimes you got to lift it up, give her a spray to get the air out, and then you got one chance to get it like, yeah, and then you got to blow out that, because it doesn't spray like this. You got to be like this, and once the can gets empty, then you really have troubles. But if you go like that, then you got just about 1/4 of a second where you can go upside down and get some painting done. That's that for that can. There we go. Matches the painter's tape really well. But we did do fuel pump. We left the bottom shiny parts and where you connect the hoses. We masked those. We masked the aluminum extension for the center unit and the center unit. We masked the oil filter. We masked the attachment point for the pulley for the fan. You don't have to want to fight those holes with threads and whatever else. We masked the heat riser tube, the spark plugs. On this side, the vacuum T-post, the water temp sensor. There was a vacuum sensor here and here that had 3 different prongs sticking off all directions. We just took those out. They would have been hard to mask, so we unscrewed them. We'll screw them back in. And then all the orifices, or all the holes, are plugged. So, all right. I turned the fan off to paint this, and now it's friggin' like 98 degrees in here. So we're gonna turn the fan on, let this sit for at least probably close to an hour. We'll monitor the drying, dryability, and then we'll start to unmask, and then probably we'll wait till tomorrow before we start fiddling with this. We'll see how this dries. This duplicate color dries okay, and it should dry pretty hard, but we're not going to push our luck. Man, I like duplicate color paint products quite a bit. It's been maybe 15 minutes, and it's not just tacky dry. This is one of the plastic plugs off of. I'm rubbing it, and I'm sure I shouldn't be doing this, and I won't to the rest of it, but it's that dry. We're gonna get this thing unmasked right now. Give you a bird's eye view even. My knee against the bumper. I'm liking using this painter's plastic more and more too. I don't know. Comment if you agree that that's a good idea, or is it a bad idea, you professional painting body guys. I've been liking it more and more. was this the right thing to do to mask this cinder off? So you got two things. And how do you feel about using like basically hardware store plastic, painter's plastic to mask? And then what are your thoughts on, sorry, my head's in your way, I know it is. What are your thoughts on masking things like the cinders and stuff? Alright, final unveiling. I think it turned out really nice. We did get tagged the back of the block back there. A little bit of masking that we missed here on the exhaust manifold. We're not worried about that. Go around the tool cart here. Same thing on this side. We have some overspray down here on the exhaust manifold here. I have a little bit on the bill housing back there, but not too worried about that either. And yeah, now this color blue, it's a little brighter, you know, and looking at it in the GoPro screen on the back of the GoPro here, it looks really close. Looking at it with the old naked eyeball, it doesn't look so close. But we're going to get one of these valve covers off, get it cleaned up really, really well, give it a little bit of shine, and then we'll set it on here and see what it looks like. I have a feeling, you know, this is 40, what's 74, 48-year-old paint, right? Yeah. 48-year-old paint. So it might be a little darker, a little different shade than, you know, 48-hour-old paint that, you know, isn't even cured, fully cured yet. So let's pull the valve cover, do a little cleaning, and see what we got. Okay, so we popped one valve cover off. We got all that caked on oil, grease, dirt, junk off of it. And we're gonna try and brighten this guy up, if nothing else, you know, clean it up to where it has just a little bit of a, you know, shine. It's just kind of presentable. First thing we'll do is hit it with our spray away glass cleaner, get things happy to where we can use something else to kind of shine on it. And right away, I don't know, you probably can't see it on that end, let me switch it. Right away the markings have gotten a lot brighter just with that one little cleaning of glass cleaner. And then you can kind of see here, you know, over 48 years this paint's been subjected to a lot of stuff, gas and oil and hot and cold cycles, and you can see this has a tinge of just dirtiness here where the top of this valve covers a much more brighter blue. Again, you can see it on this side where it gets almost green. You can tell it's had, you know, oil and stuff that's contaminated that paint coating. But we're gonna, let's see, for the next step, maybe like a medium rubbing polishing compound, and we will avoid the stamping areas and concentrate on just trying to get an overall brighter color out of it. We're gonna go 6 on the scale. It's the dual action cleaner polish. Oh shoot, spilled some. And barking. Well, polished, it didn't really change the hue of the paint at all. Clean it up a little bit, I guess. Let's do these sides a little bit and see. I think that's kind of helping get some of that green tint out of it. I think, I don't know. Alright, let's go see if this makes a difference here. I don't think it's going to. I think we are going to go ahead and give the other side the same treatment, because it's going to, if nothing else, it'll brighten it up with an illusion here. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad, you guys. I can tell. You can't. It's really hard to tell, at least in the GoPro little viewing screen on the back, but I think it'll live. I think we're going to do that to this side. It looks a lot better, you know, this side to this side. So we'll give this one the same treatment, and new valve cover gaskets are here in stock, so we'll put those back on and then continue with the beautification. That's a wrap for this one. If you have questions or comments about how we did our little Craigslist rebuild here, let us know. I'm pretty tickled. I think it turned out nice, and I think the customer's going to be pleased as well. Next video will be dressing up the rest of the engine compartment and cleaning, giving that a little cleaning, and then painting frame and doing something with the steering gear and these trans cooler lines. So let's go check out the sunset here. It's really pretty outstanding. Yep, our trees are in the way, but lovely night. It cooled right off. It's like 72 degrees, so yeah. Appreciate you. We'll catch you on the next one.